Oh, I just started it. I'll just start. Guess what? I'm going to Maui in just a couple of weeks actually, and I can't really believe my freaking luck. I found a great price on a ticket, not like a miraculous price or anything, but a good price on a ticket. And guess what? This is a sister video coming at you today. I honestly don't know where this energy is coming from because I'm having a pretty crappy morning. Oh, here we go! Just for fun, Ellen and I decided to film a question and answer video. So we decided to ask each other questions, and a lot of them are very, very hard. Do you guys want to meet my dog? Padme, come here. Come here, girl! Come here! Say hello! Say hello, this is Padme. Yes, Queen Amidala from Phantom Menace. Star Wars. If you don't know who my sister is, her name is Ellen Fisher, and she lives in Hawaii. So annoying. I remember when Ellen told me that she was thinking about moving to Hawaii, I was so supportive. I was like, yes, Ellen, you would love to live there. That's like such a perfect place for you. And now I totally regret being so supportive because then she just left me. And she took her babies with her. Ugh. Let's get into the questions. Question number 1.
Okay, Hannah, what is your favorite and your least favorite thing about living in California?
This is really difficult, and it's so funny. I think that my answer would have been very different earlier this year. In the summer, I got to spend the whole summer in France, and I was so fortunate to do that, and it's like kind of a lifelong dream of mine to practice French in France. And while I was there, I realized a deep appreciation for my home. I used to be like an anywhere but here kind of girl, like get me out of California. I know. It's just because I was raised here, and you always don't realize what you got until you lose it. And anyway, I am so grateful to live in California. The weather is amazing. We have incredible farmers markets. One of my favorite things though is just access to trails. For us, I can drive 15 minutes and have access to like amazing trails and go running and hiking, which I love to do. Or if I drive like an hour away, I have more trails. There's just trails everywhere and greenery and lots of outdoorsy active stuff, which is so nice. Least favorite thing, because California is such an amazing place to live, there are far too many people here and far too few of my sisters. I have one sister and her name is Ellen, and she lives in Hawaii, and I really miss her.
If you had to choose between having 8 kids but still publishing a book in your lifetime, or having no kids but working as an actor and never getting to publish a book, what would you choose?
Okay, 8 children. I don't know if I can handle that. Publishing a book is my dream. But I would also love to be an actress. I've always loved acting. Oh, but then never get to publish a book, but if there's no children. I'm gonna go with acting. I can't handle 8 kids. I think I might die.
What is a quality that I have that you want to have?
Ellen, there are so many qualities of yours that I wish I had. I love myself and I think I'm kind of awesome, but you are incredible. The first thing I think of is that you never get depressed. Like, oh, that's you. You just texted me, probably because I just texted you a second ago. You, like, I have like sort of a depressive sort of personality. Like, you get low about stuff and things. You have like hard things in your life, and like you know, you've got your things, but you still just keep moving on. Like, you're not like, I can't today, and I'm so like that. Another thing is you're so good with your money. I'm so bad with my money. Anything to do with the dollar sign goes straight over my head. I don't understand it, and I kind of hate money because of this, because I don't know what to do with it, and it scares me. Also, and I'm really not trying to be hyperbolic here, but it feels like everything you do is an automatic success. Like, you just know what you want and you're so focused and you do it and it is successful. I'm like kind of good at a lot of things, so I try to get distracted and I try a lot of things, and very few of them turn into successes. They're kind of like bloop, bloop. And then I really have always been jealous of your torso.
What is your biggest regret, if any?
Oh my gosh, regrets. I find regrets to be a really hard thing to talk about, especially publicly, because it feels sort of like embarrassing. But yeah, I'm not the kind of person like, no regrets, man. No regrets, man. Like, I do have regrets. Like, one time, do you remember when I went to school in Oregon, Ellen, for a semester? I loved that school. But then I came home because I wanted to be an actress. I kind of regret leaving because I had a pretty good thing going on there, and I found my peeps, and then I left after one semester. That was weird. But then conversely, I was pursuing acting for a long time, like actually really pursuing it, and then I gave up because of some kind of silly reasons. The first one was I felt like the acting industry was just automatically, even right off the bat, making me so concerned about the way I looked, and I hated having to be so concerned about that. I didn't want to have like my career wrapped up in my physical appearance. That was one thing. And another thing, I was having like major diarrhea all the time. Like, I grew up with like chronic diarrhea in high school. That's another video. I can't believe I haven't made that video yet. And I just thought, I can't be a successful actor if I have digestive problems on set. And so I quit acting. But I think it could have been really good.
What is the dumbest thing you think I've ever done?
Ellen, I cannot answer this question. I literally can't think of a dumb thing you've ever done. Like, my life decisions have always been like, whoa, Hannah, like that's a little rash. Maybe you should slow down. Maybe you should stay at that Oregon college that you really liked. Your entire life, you just have always known what you wanted, and you go after it, and you make like smart life decisions, like really smart. And so what's something dumb you've done? I don't know. When we were young, you drove a little fast. No, you made out with this one guy one time when we were in high school, I think, and he was like the bad kid in the neighborhood. I think his name was Donnie. And that was dumb, I guess. But I've made out with like some really stupid people.
What is your biggest aspiration, dream, or goal besides publishing a book?
Probably publishing a second book. I mean, it's not just publishing a book. It's not just like, woohoo, I got my book published. It's like, I want to publish a good book, one that people, at least one person cries at, and maybe another person like recommends to their mom, and then this other person says to their friend, like, you absolutely have to read that. Like this kind of book, not just like I published a book. And then ultimately the goal is like, I don't have to work because I just get to write books all day.
Do you believe in soulmates?
No, not really. I think you can have a connection with multiple people in your lifetime. I think that soulmates is from the movies.
What book should I have absolutely read by now but haven't yet?
Harry Potter. I don't understand. You love like mysteries, you love fun page turners. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of romance in it, and even like Harry's thing with Cho isn't that romantic, but when it gets to Harry and Ginny, that's exciting.
What is your biggest insecurity that comes with being on YouTube?
That's a great question. I frankly get really insecure about my view count. Sometimes I'm like, why did that only get this many views? And it's very stupid because I know it's just a number. I'm very aware of that. I'm also insecure that people will think that I'm like self-involved or self-obsessed or self-promoting, or just the act of taking a thumbnail is very self-involved. And then I also have to be super honest. I get really insecure that people are gonna like think that I'm copying you because you started doing YouTube first.
What is your biggest fear?
I have a fear, but I don't even want to say it out loud. That is how big my fear is. And I've talked about it with some people, and I've talked about it with you before, but I literally hate to put it out there into universe land because it's okay. It has to do with death. But yeah, it has to do with death. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm scared.
What matters the most in life?
I actually have an answer to this one. I think what matters most in life, and what all sort of boils down to, is being yourself. I know.
What is one thing that you think you might do differently than me if you have children, like parenting wise?
Ellen, I literally don't know how to answer this question. I am not a parent, and I don't even know what it would be like to be a mom. And sure, I have like some opinions about parenting, but I don't think they're very valid because I've never been a mom. On top of that, I think you are an incredible mom, and if I were to become a mom one day, then I think I would want to do it the way you do it. So my answer is nothing. I wouldn't change a thing.
Would you rather have dinner with Zadie Smith or Lauren Graham?
Probably Zadie Smith. Or?
What are your top 3 favorite podcasts?
My favorite podcast right now is one started by this girl named Amy McNee. Not McNeely, but very, very close. She lives in Australia, and the podcast is called Unpublished, and it's so good. It's all about authors who want to be published one day, aspiring authors, writers who, you know, are living their creative lives without actually getting paid for their work. I also love Revisionist History by Malcolm Gladwell. That one just like blows my mind with every episode. And I love The Liturgists.
If you could give any advice to your teenage self, what would you say?
I have so much to say to little Hannah. First of all, have more patience, especially for things like dudes, like guys. That thing, I was a late bloomer. I don't know if you know that. And so I would just tell myself, you know, have patience. You have your entire life. Just relax. I would tell myself to not have a boyfriend for as long as possible. I would tell myself to stop wasting time with stupid stuff. Stop watching so much TV, basically. TV was such an addiction for me in high school and college, so stop watching so much TV, stop getting addicted to that, and do something with your life that you actually love to do. I would tell myself to start exercising sooner, because I didn't start exercising until basically I was graduated of college, because I was very lazy. And I would say to read more books and write more stories, because the thing that I want to do is write stories, and there was big periods of time where I just didn't work on it because, you know, as a kid you're not thinking about like honing your craft. And so I would tell my teenage self, please write more and practice now while you have the time, and stop watching Batman Beyond and Pokemon. That was really fun. Thank you, Ellen, for those insightful and thought-provoking questions. I cannot wait to see you on New Year's Eve. I can't wait to squeeze you. I can't wait to squeeze all 3 of your little babies. We're gonna stay up really late every night talking and talking and talking. I miss you.